Good evening, everybody. Now, we're a bit spoilt for choice for football this weekend, but if you thought it would take something pretty special to drag you away from the Euros, then that is exactly what we got for you this evening. From New York, it's Brazil-Argentina, and it's coming up live on ESPN.
That surely wins it for Brazil. What can you say?
Yes, indeed, it is. Two of the biggest names in world football, Brazil and Argentina, live from the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Home, of course, of the world champion New York Giants. And there are going to be one or two Giants out on the pitch this evening, Leroy Rossini.
There certainly are. Some of the best players in the world are going to be gracing that pitch tonight. And when I saw that it was deemed to be a friendly, I started laughing, James, because these teams just don't play friendlies. You know, the pride at stake is absolutely massive. So they'll be taking it very seriously, certainly with their build-ups. You know, Brazil looking towards the Olympics, Argentina obviously in the World Cup qualifying phase. But this is a big game for both teams. It
is a new look Brazil, one that's enjoyed an excellent record against Argentina of late. Leo Messi will be in the Argentina side, though, which is great news.
It certainly is. You know, as I said, the best players will be playing. They're not going to leave him out. You know, Messi, we know all about him, but it's about knowing about him and dealing with him are totally different things.
Brazil in the middle of what they describe as their world tour. Some mixed results in the last week or so. In the States, they beat America 4-1. Fantastic performances for what is a very, very young Brazil side.
Yes, certainly, and they're just getting the experience that they need. They've always used, you know, these sorts of tours and the Olympics, the build-up to the Olympics, as a way of giving these young players vital experience of tournament football. And obviously, they've got off to a good start against the USA. You know, Neymar coming up with the penalty there, and then obviously a set piece there. But this sort of experience is just all about getting to that Olympics in good shape. And you know, during the game, you felt that at times they looked a little bit shaky at the back. They conceded there against the Americans. Obviously, USA were delighted with that, but they won't be too concerned about that. They want to make their mistakes in these sorts of games and make sure that they get it right when the tournaments come around.
And they really do take the Olympics seriously. It's the one trophy that Brazil have never won, and it's one that they're always aiming to do well at. And of course, London will be their target. And it's tonight's game very much seen as a dress rehearsal in the Brazilian media for the Olympics.
That's right. I mean, that's why they built up to it with the American game, and then obviously the Mexico game, and the top this game against Mexico, where they played well at times. They created lots of chances, but didn't take them. And then Mexico, who got some decent players, it's Santos here with I'm sure that's a cross, by the way, got their noses in front.
Really?
Yeah, I'm sure it was a cross. And here the penalty, Juan gives away a terrible penalty. But it just shows that when they went behind, they seemed to lose their way a little bit, and that's something they want to be able to deal with, because going behind for a team like Brazil has never been a problem. They just usually keep playing their football. They didn't against Mexico, and in the end they were made to pay.
That 2-0 defeat ending a run of 8 straight victories for Brazil, so it is a new look side, but one that's been doing ever so well. They don't have World Cup qualifying. Of course, the South American qualifying group already underway for the next World Cup. Brazil, as the host, don't have to take part in that. Argentina do, and they've been doing brilliantly.
Absolutely, and sometimes that can be a disadvantage, you know, because you know that the games that you're playing, you're not going to play at full tilt. You know, Argentina know that they've got to go and do well in their group, which they are, but Brazil, as you said, already qualified. They're playing more or less friendlies, let's say, and they need to find the momentum and the motivation to go and play.
Argentina currently top of the CONMEBOL. I think I pronounced that extremely wrongly, but anyway, they're top of the World Cup qualifiers for South America. A big 4-1 victory in their last game against Ecuador. Aguero's on the score sheet, Messi, Higuain and Di Maria. Yeah. And Messi will be in the lineup, as I mentioned, tonight as well.
Yeah, certainly. As you can see, it's so tight, you know, up there, and it's so difficult. And there's Lionel Messi, as we've seen before. You know, we just expect him to go and perform. Obviously, didn't perform as he would have liked in the Champions League, but this is the sort of thing that he's capable of.
There's magnificent stuff from the World Clubs Championship. When he was face-to-face with Neymar of Santos, a duel that you're going to see to some extent again tonight.
Certainly, but two different players, two different types of players, both with great talent, but both can finish, and sometimes finish in different ways.
Right. Fantastic haircut for Neymar. What else can you tell us about him?
Well, I tell you what, I don't mind about his haircut because the boy can play. He can finish from anywhere. Here you just see him just cut inside. He needs only a yard, finishes with his left foot. But he's also a little bit of a fox in the box as well. Can find space in the box, can finish. You know, a lot of players talk about Messi always dribbling from outside the box, but Neymar can find areas in the box and finish with his head just like that. But he can also just give him a yard, and he can just pop out the keepers. This finish here, where he just strikes it into the goal again. A really simple finish. He makes things look easy, and that's what he's all about. And it's not easy, believe me. This is the one that I really love, where he gives the keeper the eyes and just puts it near post. Right. So different types of finishes, but they all end up in the back of the net.
An incredibly creative player, incredibly brave player as well, especially with that hairdo, as I say. Some people say, Jedward, I'm going with more of a Lamar styling. And the man who's going to be up front, well, one of the men up front with him, alongside Leandro Damião, is of course, Hulk, who's been in the newspapers in England of late.
He certainly has. He's been linked with Chelsea. I think AVB would have wanted him at Chelsea and didn't get him. But, you know, this isn't a man. He had to go to Japan to get his career up and going, and he certainly did that and came to Porto, and he can finish. He's powerful, he's strong, but with that power and strength, he's got great control. You know, you see him running with the ball, and he's got a great strike from outside the box here. You see the keeper's totally foxed. I think that moves a little bit to give the keeper a little bit of protection there. But this is a player, I think, if he comes to the Premier League, he'll suit the Premier League down to the ground, because he's not frightened of a physical contact either. And
I can understand why.
Well, he can play right across the line. He can play up front, down the middle, left or right, and he's effective from all those positions.
My word, price tag of around about £30 million is what they're saying. Are they paying by the kilo or something?
Well, it was a lot cheaper than the €100 million price tag that they put on his head. And do you know what? I think at that price, I think he's going to be a bargain, because I think he'll take the Premier League by storm if he does come.
All right, nice to see the big names up front, and then for both sides, a huge rivalry this, as we say. Just one win for Argentina in their last 8 meetings with Brazil. Yeah,
but I think Argentina go into this game as favourites, in all honesty. You know, they're a young side, they're an Olympic squad, Brazil. Argentina, as we said, they've got the big guns out, they've got a strong side from back to front, and I just feel that today, Argentina might just get the result.
All right, and looking forward to a terrific atmosphere as well at the MetLife Stadium there in New Jersey.
Yeah, well, they love their football now, don't they? And they've seen a lot. They've seen these teams in recent years. They've been over there, Argentina last year and Brazil, so they're starting to be educated about what the game is about, and they're seeing some of the best football. And so I think there'll be a terrific atmosphere there, and I think it's going to be a little bit of a feast of football. Let's hope I haven't put the mockers on it, but I really do think it's going to be an entertaining game.
A feast of football it is then, and it's coming up live here on ESPN. The usual spectacular South American-style crowd there at the MetLife Stadium. Join us for the match live after this. Yes, the strains of the Star-Spangled Banner ringing out there at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey as a crowd of around 80,000 people awaits tonight's massive matchup between Brazil and Argentina. Let's join our commentators for the big event, Frank Stapleton and first Dave Farron.
Yeah, high-class international football comes to New Jersey, and they are packed in here. Brazil against Argentina, this wonderful young Brazilian side that's been raising quite a few eyebrows up against a much hardier international team. It will be fascinating to see just how well they do, and what a reception for the Star-Spangled Banner. Now for the team's anthems. was hard to work out which anthem was more popular. Supporters of both teams are crammed in here, and it's great to see so many of them standing together as well. There is a real friendly atmosphere around what is, of course, a friendly, but one that will teach us a great deal about Brazil's Olympic chances and indeed their future. And just where Argentina are, they're top of the CONMEBOL qualifying for the next World Cup, for which of course Brazil don't have to qualify. But Argentina have frailties at the back that this Brazilian side will certainly hope to exploit. Neymar leads the line along with Hulk. It'll be fascinating to see the two young centre-halves, Bruno Uvini and João Jesus, play alongside each other. And you have the experience of Marcelo at left-back, Rafael of Manchester United on the right, and Sandro of Spurs anchors an exciting-looking midfield. Well, as for Argentina, the headline news, as it always must be, is that Lionel Messi does play. Higuain will play a little further forward than him. Di Maria also just in behind as well. And Zabaleta of Manchester City plays at right back. Clemente Rodriguez down the left. And interestingly enough, Alex Sabella is worried about them defensively. We expect Mascherano to play as one of three centre-halves. Well, the two captains, Lionel Messi and Sandro, plenty of options from the bench as well, including Paris Saint-Germain's new man, Ezekiel Lavezzi, who will surely see at some point for Argentina, plus plenty more young Brazilian talent. Alongside me is Frank Stapleton. I'm sure looking forward to this, a wonderful atmosphere, and what should be a terrific game, a really interesting game, Frank.
Well, I think that whenever these two teams meet, you're always going to get a situation where the competitiveness is there, whether it's a friendly or it's a World Cup qualifier. I just think that the players themselves will really enjoy the atmosphere in the stadium. You know, whilst we have a lot of yellow and blue and white shirts in the place, a lot of Americans here, and not quite understanding the whole idea of this sort of game and how much each team want to win. But I think there'll be times when we'll hear cheers when it is not quite appropriate. But at the same time, the quality of player on the pitch is not to be denied. Both teams have got absolutely top quality players, and we're hoping they're going to perform tonight for what is a tremendous crowd here in New York, and the enthusiasm is in the stadium, and that'll be all the way through, and hopefully we see it on the pitch as well.
Well, they're going to have the pre-match huddle here wearing number 20. Chelsea fans, there's your new man Hulk, formerly of Porto. Neymar is the one who is passing on some late advice. And such a young Brazilian squad and a young Brazilian side building up for their coach Mano Menezes to the Olympic Games. They want a gold medal. They have never had one in football, and they want this to be their year. They will take it very, very seriously. Some bad news for Menezes is that his captain, Thiago Silva, is not fit to start the game. But they do have these options of Uvini, who was on loan at Tottenham Hotspur, and João Jesus as well. And we'll see just how well they manage to click together. There is Menezes, who come under a fair bit of criticism after the defeat by Mexico. We were seeing the highlights, weren't we, earlier on? But they'd been on a good run prior to that. And victory over the USA was comprehensive. And prior to that this year, Denmark and Bosnia both beaten. But Mexico were too good for them at the Cowboys Stadium in Arlington. And after plenty more pre-match preliminaries, we should just about be ready to get underway. Alex Sabella, first former Sheffield United and Leeds United player to coach Argentina, fairly safe to say that. But he did such a great job with Estudiantes, winning the Argentine title and indeed the Copa Libertadores to deserve the national job, and now he's starting to shine in it. Slight shame not to see Kun Agüero starting the game, but he and Mascherano are both suspended for the next qualifying game against Paraguay, and that is one of the reasons why he's been left out, but Sabella still wants to look at Mascherano and maybe play him as one of 3 centre-halves. Fascinating, isn't it? An Olympic football tournament that Argentina, of course, have a great record in, and which a lot of people tend to be a bit sniffy about, Frank, and the feeling is they don't take it too seriously, but Brazil really, really want it, and you suspect if they want it that badly, they should win it.
Well, yeah, I think so, but that's not to say they didn't want to win it the last time. I just think that the enthusiasm in South America for the Olympics, especially the football part of it, is huge, and we shouldn't underestimate their need. You know, that would be a good start to the World Cup in 2 years' time for them to win the Olympics, and then go on from there and gradually grow their team.
So finally, we're underway at the MetLife Stadium in New Jersey. Normally, the stars here are called Sanchez and Manning, but tonight it's all about Messi and Neymar. Let's see what kind of show they can put on at the home of the Jets and the Giants. Little touch there by Marcelo. And then the header by Neymar. And already the ball just rolled out of play. Fernando Gago caught in the face there with the challenge by Neymar.
Well, it was quite an aggressive challenge, but I don't think there was any intent there. I just think he jumped higher, and the player just didn't get up, didn't have a chance. Just see it just catches him with the side of his elbow, but I think his eye is always on the ball.
Early touch there for Juan Jesus. They call him the new Lucio, and he is with Inter, just came on as a substitute in their last league game in the 90th minute of that match. With a big career ahead of him, as does this man Neymar, just trying to slip it through, but picked up by Romero. There's Jose Sosa. Now Neymar. Neymar looking to get involved straight away, and just trying to turn his way through there was Leandro Damião. Really looking forward to seeing him, as well as Oscar, the star of that under-20 World Final. Scored a hat-trick in it. Became only the second man to score a hat-trick in a FIFA final. I think most of you will know the first. Now Hulk. Here's Marcelo. Very, very positive start from Brazil. Picked up though by Clemente Rodriguez. Good chest down there by Damião, and it's Neymar! Well, they built the move so well. The finish wasn't there at the end of it, but mightily impressive this.
Yeah, great play. As soon as he gets the ball at his feet, he tries to be clever and just put it into the corner, but he's well wide with his effort. But the build-up play so far from Brazil has been top-notch. It's what we expect from Brazil, and they haven't disappointed us.
There's a poor kick there from Sergio Romero.
Just make a point about the pitch, Dave. Just watching it a couple of times, the ball isn't bouncing naturally. Obviously this turf is being put down for this particular game, and as the ball drops, it doesn't bounce up, it just dies. Having spent the time in America, that's what happens. With these pitches, they get put in for short term, and you don't get a natural bounce of the ball.
Oh, just eluding Hulk there. Throw-in taken by Rodriguez. Interesting to see Rodriguez playing down the right and Zabaleta on the other side. Normally see Clemente Rodriguez buccaneering forward down that left-hand flank. Good ball played in. It was there to be attacked by Damião. But just a little too far in front of him from Sandro.
Well, plenty of energy, isn't there, from the Brazilian team, and going forward, they just look lots of mistakes as well from the Argentinians.
Given away there by Sosa, but he gets it back. And another player down holding his face. It's been a stop-start opening, but the bits when it started have been very, very good.
Yeah, we've got a chance now maybe to just talk about the lineups and Argentina. You know, Argentina's there with Mascherano playing at the back, and obviously he's played all the season with Barcelona. He just takes a little knock there in the face, but I think we can't quite see them settling into this early because Brazil have been just so prevalent with the ball. As soon as they get the ball, all the first thing they're doing is look to play forward and link up very quickly. We may be in for a real treat tonight in terms of goals.
There's Zabaleta, and here is Ezequiel Garay, looking long and trying to get Lionel Messi onto the ball. I don't think he's touched it so far. Higuain will chase that, but Juan Jesus lives up to his billing a little as the new Lucio, with good close control and use of the ball inside his own penalty area. Quickly now to Hulk, and that's a good sliding challenge by Federico Fernandez. Marcelo couldn't quite keep it in. Time really to catch a breath.
Well, very positive start. It just, at the moment, you just can't see the Argentinians holding onto the ball long enough, because Brazil are all over them as soon as they get possession. They're on top, very Barcelona-like. Obviously, that's the way forward for them.
Here's Zabaleta. Never stops, does it? Seems only the blink of an eye ago that he was involved in that incredible Premier League win. Must have been coming back from an offside position. He was, Higuain.
Just going back to Brazil and Neymar again. We did a game in February when they played Bosnia, and Neymar played on that the left-hand side. Tonight he's just playing behind Hulk. Nice little bit of freedom there, and obviously you want your best player to be on the ball as much as possible.
Well, that's certainly happening so far. Here's Sandro. Now Oscar. Rafael available if he wants him. Here's Marcelo. Again they pour forward, but again the finish is a weak one.
Yeah, a good build-up again. I've got to say, he did try to really power it. Well, I don't think the pitch helped him here. No natural roll of the ball there. You know, he tried to really get some power behind it, but so far, not impressed. The pitch isn't helping the game.
4 goals in 11 caps, Marcelo. Does have a really good international goal-scoring record. He scored twice in the friendly matches this year. Scored against Bosnia when they beat them in St. Gallen, and in that 4-1 victory against the USA. USA have had some decent results themselves, though. That 5-1 win over Scotland, you may have seen with us here on ESPN, and they beat Antigua and Barbuda in a World Cup qualifier last night by 3-1. Here's Mascherano. Now here's Rodriguez down the left-hand side. That's where you're used to seeing him for Boca Juniors. There's Messi. Just hustled off it a little by Sandro. That will be the aim. Well, the shot came in from range, but nothing at all to trouble Rafael Cabral from Angel Di Maria.
Yeah, quick throw in. Di Maria, nothing else on. Decided to have a shot off the target. Again, they've got to come to terms with the service.
Plenty of sporting thrills in the tri-state area today. The Belmont Stakes going on in New York as well. Fortunately, the story there wasn't to be with I'll Have Another, the horse going for the Triple Crown, injured and retired yesterday. Very much a team at the start of its career, this Brazilian one, and here's Neymar. Crowd love it. They love the way that they've started this game, but of course they're hungry for a goal.
Yeah, good link up again between Neymar and Hulk, and it just takes the player away, just gives him that half a yard, doesn't get it on the target. Again, the players are just scuffing the shots. With plenty of efforts from both sides, but that's encouraging, the link up play between Hulk and Neymar. I wonder if we'll see Hulk in that position next season.
Well, they're going to have a fascinating forward line, aren't they, Chelsea, with Eden Hazard and Hulk and Mata. Not bad. Here come Argentina on the counter for just about the first time, and here goes Messi. Fine challenge on him, and it needed to be. So nearly through, and so dangerous, and here he is again. Now Marcelo. Neymar caught, and that will be a yellow card. No real option there for the referee.
No, it's straightforward, wasn't it? It's definitely yellow. A little bit of a lunge there. They didn't show it. Here we go.
Yeah, there's the lunge, Frank.
Yeah, and then it's pretty dangerous, 2 feet. Thing is, Gago's in the middle of the park. He really doesn't need to jump in there. You know, if he's going to give a foul away, he doesn't have to do that. He had maybe body check, and he won't get a yellow card for that in that particular part of the pitch.
A little swivel of the hips there from Neymar. Just a sense that Argentina are coming into the game as they were always going to. There's Marcelo, again given away slightly sloppily by Brazil. Marcelo tackling his Real Madrid teammate there, Di Maria.
We talk about Messi not having much of the ball. To be fair, the Argentinian team haven't had much possession, and there's been very little build-up play, a couple of real breakaways more than anything. Certainly from the look of it, the pitch could do with a lot of water on, you know, and would help the situation.
It's Damião with that challenge there on Mascherano. Here's Clemente Rodriguez. Well, you'd hope the players will soon adapt to the pitch. That's what these top-class players tend to do. It'll take them a while to adjust, maybe. Here goes Rodriguez. Didn't have too many options, and in the end Marcelo had time to take a touch. Lovely nutmeg by Di Maria, away from the second challenge as well, but Romula to bring it away. And now Hulk.
I think you're right about the players finding the best way to use the pitch. It'll be no real adjustment, but once they get to terms, we'll probably see the ball being moved around a little bit quicker.
Away by Juan Jesus, and it might just turn into something there for Leandro Damião, but not quite. One goal in his 8 caps, and that was a goal that came at Craven Cottage against Ghana. Now Di Maria. It's a lovely ball forward, it's a big chance! And Hulk's effort saved by Romero. He's on his left foot where he likes it, but the goalkeeper denies him.
Well, it's a great ball into his path. The goalkeeper's got his angle right. Maybe should have really got it the other side of him. On the floor, into the corner, but great run from deep. No one picked him up, and they just couldn't keep with him. Good save.
Neymar, one of those strikers who tends to take corners, and good punch on it too from Romero. And he comes and claims. Here's Uvini, and now Rafael. Clever turn there by Oscar. There's Hulk, and it was legal. And in the end, he decides it wasn't.
A little bit of a mismatch, wasn't it, when this ball comes out? Just a little bit of a nudge with his arm. I think that's what the referee's assistant is give. I think it's right as well. Takes some knocking off the ball, him.
Yeah, he is a bit of a throwback. Something quite old-fashioned about Hulk. I think you're yet to be convinced about him, aren't you, Frank?
Yeah, he's played in the for Porto for a number of years, and he's done well, but I've yet to see him have an outstanding game. He's not done bad in this game so far, but I haven't seen him playing as that centre forward that we see tonight, so maybe they've actually found his proper position.
He's got a great goal scoring record, no question about that. 52 in 96 for Porto. He's had a strange career trajectory, Hulk. Spent time in Japan, as many Brazilian players do, before going to Porto. Here's Neymar. Goodness me, Fernandes needed to time that second challenge right, didn't he? Dived in, but he got the ball. If you are just joining us here on ESPN and ESPN HD, do remember this is a very young Brazilian side. And there are plenty of big names not in this squad. This is the squad looking ahead to the Olympic Games, and they're acquitting themselves really well so far. Such a thrill, though, to see so many stars of the future alongside stars of the present. Here's Zabaleta.
Good pair of hands, Romero, hasn't he? He's looked quite impressive under pressure so far. Maybe not here, but certainly that take was a difficult one, coming straight down.
Hit long towards Di Maria. Always an awkward-looking player, Di Maria. Very, very leggy, but serious dribbling skills, as does this man, Lionel Messi. Marcelo, though, read it well. Real Madrid stopping Barcelona. Good work there by Sandro, but Argentina have it back.
You get a strange reaction from the crowd, don't you, when the big players get on the ball, they get all excited, and it's usually after they do something exciting that you start to jump up and cheer.
Here's Hulk. Now Rafael. Oscar. Sandro. Here's Marcelo. A lovely touch from Neymar. He wanted it played back in, and eventually it was, but he's offside.
Great movement, hasn't he? Unbelievable. Just a little flick there. And when they come off, we just didn't see it. It was in the replay. He just flipped around the corner. And then ball laid back for third man running. Just wasn't played quick enough, or ventured offside. But lovely touch initially.
I think that replay suggested he was probably half a yard onside, actually. A bit unfortunate there, Neymar. Good job the ball wasn't played into his path and he'd scored. Would have been a controversial moment there, but hit long to Higuain. But in the same way, Frank, that you're maybe unconvinced by Hulk, I suspect from the way you're talking, you're quite convinced by Neymar.
I think in the game that we did February, it's a different situation, and it was a difficult match for them because Bosnia played quite well. But I think that on the night you saw that he had the quality. They weren't always able to get the ball, and the pitch wasn't the best pitch. But certainly in this position, playing behind the front man and receiving the ball, running at people, you see with his close control and his pace and his he sees little things before they happen. A little bit, very much like Messi. Just the little intuition sometimes about where the player is, and 9 times out of 10 it's right.
He's already achieved so much, the 2011 South American Player of the Year. And he's just 20, and it's taken quickly, and it's a big chance, and Romero can't keep it out this time. Argentina's defensive frailties to the fore again. They went to sleep at the free kick, and what a blow. Brilliant start for Brazil. Crucial goal from Romulo.
This is very, very tight. I don't know, there was part of his body, we didn't see it again, but there was part of his body in front of the line, and that's why the Argentinian players have got their hands up. But they heard no whistles. He went up and scored.
It's always interesting when a coach makes a comment before a game and then it comes to pass. Sabella was talking about them defensively, and there you have it. Lovely moment for Romula. First goal for his country in only his third cap. Can Argentina respond? Because they've offered precious little so far. The referee saw that as a foul by Hulk. I think he's a bit unfortunate.
I think he's given it because he's behind. Just look at it again. That's not quite the angle we saw the first time. But full marks to him. Just go on and take the chance. Very, very tight. but you've got to go with what the assistant has done, because he's in line with the last man. You would think that he's got it right.
Free kick for Argentina, swung in by Messi, flicked over his own crossbar by Sandro.
Almost an embarrassing moment.
Just a little word there from the goalkeeper Rafael Cabral. It wasn't a bad corner, but there was no one really attacking it. It's a great delivery in again. Fernandez had stayed forward, but they did just enough to put him off.
Well, they haven't give Rafael too much to do, have they? In goal there. First test really didn't really pass it, but
I mentioned that Argentina are top of that World Cup qualifying group. All started back in Buenos Aires in October with a 4-1 win over Chile, but then a defeat by Venezuela, a draw at home against Bolivia. Things weren't going so well, but they won in Colombia and then beat Ecuador recently, and that's put them on top. It's a much better performance, that one as well, against Ecuador. They've looked a little sluggish here, as many of these players have the right to be after a long season. Here's Clemente Rodriguez. Zabaleta. Now Mascherano. Messi. Mexican wave already. It's normally the sign of a tall game, but it's not been the case here at all. It's a lovely ball hit long for Neymar, who controls it. Was he brought down? Referee says no penalty, but that must have been a mighty close call. Here's Mascherano. Now Messi. Flags up.
well, I think this is a situation where I think the referee's got it right. I think if the goalkeeper makes contact, it's a penalty. Defender almost ran into him. We're seeing the offside, there's no doubt about that. But the situation with the whether it was a penalty or not, I don't think so. I think that he's got it right there, because I think Zabaleta only ended up running into him, not trying to get the ball. But if the goalkeeper had made a contact, it was a definite penalty.
Rafael will chase it. He is very quick, but not even he could get that. We'll be seeing him in action for Manchester United next season, and right here on ESPN as we build towards the start of the European season. You will see, amongst others, Manchester City, Arsenal, Real Madrid, Chelsea, Tottenham and Liverpool in pre-season friendlies here on ESPN and ESPN HD. And we can also confirm a live international for you. Germany against Argentina on the 14th of August. And that already sounds like Pretty good international game, that one. So all of that to come, but a prestige friendly right here for us now. Always seems odd to describe games between these countries as friendlies, although it's been played in a good spirit, this. Here's Clemente Rodriguez. His Boca Juniors side held by Banfield this evening, which is a bit of a blow to their chances of backing up an Apertura win with a Clausura victory. There are a few snapping at their heels, Tigre and Arsenal being the main two. Here's Neymar, going to try and accelerate away. Oh, it's brilliant from Neymar! Was he pushed to the ground? I think he was a bit too honest there, Neymar. If he'd gone down straight away, it would have been a penalty and possibly a red card. But because he stayed on his feet, he got nothing.
Well, he made no contact at the vital moment. He poked his toe into the ground and missed the ball. Fantastic run. And at one moment you're thinking, defender's going to get there, holds him off, just a little nudge away, and he ends up falling over because he misses the ball, and he's looking for the penalty because he made the mistake. But what a run. Fantastic change of pace.
Didn't he fall over because he was pushed in the back?
I don't think so, Dave. I think he fell over because he poked the ground, not because he was pushed in the back.
Argentina looking to break with Lionel Messi, who makes no mistake. What Neymar couldn't do, Messi does. And Sabella's side are level.
Well, did Argentina need this goal? Almost going 2 goals down seconds before. Little mistake there in the midfield. Higuain doing really well, and then he slips the ball through, and you don't leave Messi free on his own. And as soon as he was onto the goal there, you knew that he wasn't going to miss. Little side foot into the corner, absolutely brilliant. Great work by Higuain. And he keeps his cool. And he keeps Argentina in this game, because I think 2-0 and Brazil have gone. They're in the distance.
Key moments in the match. Plenty of talking points just in that couple of minutes. Be interested to hear what the guys in the studio make of that. And here they come again, Argentina. 3 against 3 momentarily. This time he didn't quite pick the right pass. Suddenly they've woken up.
Yeah, and the Di Maria there, I think he was just... was another player, I think, where Higuain was outside. He had stopped because he was running offside. Didn't quite release the ball early enough, but now they've woken up Brazil, and they feel they're in the game now. Yeah, you feel, don't you, that Brazil have dominated. They've made better chances, not taking them. And that's football for you. 30 seconds later, Argentina are level.
And we maybe saw the 2 young centre-halves exposed as well. It was a great pass by Higuain, but they look very, very square. Apparently the second best player in the world is playing somewhere this weekend. Just saw the best make his mark, though. Thing about Messi is the minute he was clean through, he was never going to miss. He's one of those, isn't he?
Well, the finishing rate is unbelievable. And for to give him that amount of space, both centre-backs, obviously they gave possession away, but both centre-backs are either side of him, and you never do that because very quickly the game changes.
Rodriguez. Forward by Mascherano. A game that has ebbed and flowed, and which is intriguingly poised right now. And here he goes again, and Messi gets there first, and Messi makes it too. A double hammer blow by the man. Wonderful acceleration. fabulous touch, deadly finish. They have come from a goal down in the blink of an eye.
Well, we see this again, and Higuain is offside, but he doesn't want to play the ball, and Messi comes from deep. You talked about the problems that Argentina had defensively. I think that Brazil are guilty of trying to play too high a line, pushing up, trying to play offside, and the little man comes through again. And once he's got onto the ball, you know it's going to be a goal, because the goalkeeper's not out quick enough to get there, and once the keeper commits, it's a goal all the way.
Messi at the double for Argentina, and now this young Brazilian side really has to pick itself up. And you look back again at that Neymar moment, clean through, accelerated away, and we disagree into the means by which he was stopped, but he didn't score. And look at it now. Could have been 2-0, and now it's 1-2. There's Messi battling again along with Mascherano. Given away though, and it's Neymar. It is end-to-end right now.
Good play there by Sosa, wasn't it? Because you feel that when Neymar is running at the defence, he'll go past the last man. Great defensive work just to get back.
Mascherano caught in possession. It's Neymar again. Option is Hulk for 2-2. Two great chances for Hulk, but Romero has stood up tall twice now.
This is great play. This shows the other side of Neymar.
So much going on, there's no time to look at it. That's always a good sign. Mano Menezes will learn a lot about his young side here. Manu did a fine domestic coaching job, lifting Gremio and Corinthians from ignominy really back into the top flight. Now he has a massive job to do with Brazil, where the expectations are always just a little high. Rafael. Surely a foul. He had a pretty big hold of Sosa's shirt there. And it's a yellow card.
Well, I know it's a friendly game. These are, definite yellow cards. In some friendly matches you see the referees reluctant to do it, but I think it keeps it competitive. If he's getting the yellow card out, then people know that they can't get away with anything.
I've never really understood about lenient refereeing in friendlies, or over lenient. I mean, the game's got laws, you have to apply them. This referee's done very well. Seven minutes to go until half-time. Lionel Messi with 2 goals here for Argentina, after Brazil had taken the lead through Romula. I don't think we've seen the last of the scoring here. Well, was that a foul?
I'm not so sure it was a foul, but I don't think it was offside. Again, Brazil squeezing up, trying without real pressure on the ball. That's what would worry me. That's certainly one thing the coach has got to do. He's got to sort that out, because both of the goals found quite square at the back.
Here goes Sosa trying to lead Argentina forward. It's a little isolated there, the man from Metalist. Wasn't the best choice of pass either. Now Marcelo. Is he going to be hustled out of play? He is. We will see Marcelo's side, Real Madrid, in a fine array of pre-season friendlies here on ESPN and ESPN HD. Not just them, but Man City, Arsenal, Chelsea, Tottenham, Liverpool, and many more. And also that live international between Germany and Argentina. That's confirmed for August the 14th. A lot, as ever, to look forward to here on ESPN and ESPN HD. Not least the next 55 minutes or so. It's not too rash of me, Frank, is it, to say we haven't seen the last of the goal scoring? It feels like we'll get more.
Yeah, I felt that from the start of the game. I mean, you always get, in these games, teams are just feeling their way into it, getting used to the pitch. I mean, you know, I haven't mentioned the pitch for almost 30 minutes, so
must have been a good game.
Yeah, the game's got to be good because we're talking about other things and the right things in the match, and fabulous goals and chances missed. Great. And without doubt, with the area of players here and the fact that Brazil are losing, they will try and score goals.
Shall I apologise? Well, apologies for the momentary loss of pictures from the MetLife Stadium. And as if by magic, here they are. And right on cue, we rejoin. That would have been just about perfect. Apart from that, he didn't miss anything. Just been waiting till he got back. But good run there by Zabaleta.
Yes, again, question marks. What's happened defensively? They're not all together. That was a full-back's effort to try and score a goal. Great run. After a great season with Manchester City as well, of course.
And of course he scored in that game against Queen's Park Rangers, the opening goal. Little dink forward to Hulk, who was having his shirt tugged. And Rodriguez now gets across. I tell you what, there have been two occasions now where, well, you don't like saying too honest, because honesty's a good thing, but Brazilian players might have gone down. I think if Hulk had fallen there, the referee would have had to give a penalty.
I think what's happening, they're not falling because they think they're going to score the goal, and when it gets to the final, but they just don't get around to doing it.
Lovely skill there from Oscar, and it breaks for Neymar. Terrific stop that by Romero. Got to his feet and spread himself so quickly.
That was very brave, because the chances are that after, with the follow through, he could end up getting a kick in the head. But this is some ball in, and Hulk doesn't know. It isn't actually Hulk. They don't know what that he's got control of the ball, and Neymar picks it up, and the keeper's out at him like a cat. Threw himself at it and got a little injury for it, but he has looked impressive tonight.
It's going to be a corner kick to follow. Brazil, of course, would love to draw level here. Romero's side, Sampdoria, playing a key game right now away at Varese. As it swung in, and great flick on. It's almost got a bit too much on it. Yeah, his side, Sampdoria, on the brink of being promoted back to Serie A. They won the first leg against Varese 3-2, and it's 0-0 at half-time in the second. He, I'm sure, will want to know what's going on there. Clever ball from Hulk for Oscar. Behind for another Brazilian corner. This is good pressure at the end of the half from them.
Well, they felt that they've had the best of the chances, and they find themselves 2-1 down, so yeah.
It's a good ball in from the centre half, and Sandro knows he should have scored. Great play from João Jesus there, and Sandro looked like he was going to meet it perfectly.
Well, it's a great ball in. Poor marking again by the Argentinians, but he's headed that off the top of his head. Not obvious for it, and that's why it's gone up and over. But the chances keep going begging as we get up to half-time.
Yeah, just 1 minute of time to be added on at the end of this first half. Do hope you've enjoyed it. It's been terrific stuff at times. Real treat for us. Here's Sosa. It's fair to say that those inside the MetLife Stadium have been enchanted by what they've seen. So much skill. Game took a while to warm up, but both teams have really tried to play here. Gago. Just slightly overhit. Well, there is the half-time whistle, and frankly, can't wait for the second half to get underway here. Romula gave Brazil the lead on 23, but then two quick-fire goals from Lionel Messi mean that the half-time score at the MetLife Stadium is Brazil 1, Argentina 2.
Indeed it is, Dave. What a terrific first half it's been. Looking forward to seeing all the best bits in our half-time analysis with Leroy Rossini. They've certainly enjoyed it there at the MetLife Stadium. Terrific 45 minutes from two terrific teams. Brazil opening the scoring, but their opponents have this man to thank for their sterling comeback. A case of Messi beaucoup for Argentina so far. More from Leroy and myself after this.